Hi everyone, it is definitely cold out here this morning, and honestly, so is the economic data Canada is walking into the December Bank of Canada meeting with. So let me break down what's really going on for you, like I try to do every week. Before I get into the numbers, I want to say this. Every week I struggle with what I want to talk about because there's so much happening in the world and in Canadian news. And I find myself shifting daily on what feels most important to speak on. I don't want to just read the news, I want to interpret it for you. And before I go any further, I also want to thank you. I want to thank you for tuning in, I want to thank you for listening, and I want to thank you so far for supporting Helping Hands. It's a higher purpose project I'm committed to with my friend Tina, and the GoFundMe link is going to be in the description. We still have a couple of weeks of fundraising left, so I'm not going to stop talking about it. And I really do appreciate anyone who's helped out so far. And it really does go directly to feeding a family this Christmas with a turkey dinner, potatoes, and vegetables. So let's get into this week's story. And to be honest with you, it's not even about Canada this time. Last week it was about Japan. And this week it's about the US. So the FedWatch tool is showing over an 87% probability of a US rate cut in the next Federal Reserve meeting. And that's a very high number. And like always, why does this matter? Because when the US cuts rates, it sends shockwaves everywhere, including here in Canada. So a wider rate differential draws capital out of Canada. It weakens the dollar and it raises the cost of imports like food and energy, the things that hit us home. And the Bank of Canada really can't ignore what's happening south of the border. And, you know, here in Canada, it's sending mixed signals. Last week, Canada posted a headline that the GDP number of 2.6 for the third quarter. And while we think that that's strong, when economists started to dig a little deeper, the story starts to change. This is why we always want to ask questions. This quote-unquote growth was driven by a sharp drop in imports, and mathematically that inflates the GDP. So if exports stay flat, and the October data showed that, then it suggests that that momentum is going to be slowing down. So even at 2.6 now, it's not going to remain that way. And then there's unemployment. That's climbed to 7%. And there's a report that's supposed to show less job growth. We've already lost like over 18,000 jobs, and 85,000 of those jobs were replaced from full-time to part-time. So that's not strength, that's stress. And Canada posted a $5 billion deficit in September from $3.2 billion from the year before. And that's because of weaker revenues and higher spending. So even if the GDP makes the economy look stable on the surface, the federal books tell a different story, which is what I was trying to talk about several weeks ago. And we can't ignore the bond market, my favorite topic. This morning, the Canada 5-year bond was pulled up almost 4 basis points by the US 10-year Treasury. That matters because fixed mortgages follow bond yields, not the overnight rate that everybody follows with the Bank of Canada. So here's the picture, and the honest picture as we head into the December meeting. The US is probably going to cut, and Canada's economy is weaker than I say that the headlines suggest. Job quality is definitely slipping, and the bond markets are already moving up. And the Bank of Canada is trying to manage this all at the same time. Hello. They may choose to hold next week because they're talking on December 10th, or there's the next post. But I don't know. I think 2026 is going to look different from the last couple of years that we've had. So we'll see what starts to happen. If you got this far into the video, again, I really appreciate your time watching, getting to the end. I'm going to post a video that Tina made, an updated video of what we're up to at Helping Hands. And as always, please please share, I'm not trying to chase algorithms. I'm just trying to make sure that I can educate people to the best of their ability and really to try to have some fun while I'm doing it, even though it's in the cold, and making sure that I stay of service and in higher purpose. So thanks for watching, and until next week, be well.
Every year, as the holiday gets closer, most of us are thinking about family, food, and getting cozy. But for too many people in our own community, that warmth does not exist. Some are spending the night outside. Some are skipping meals. And some are just trying to make it to tomorrow. That's why we started Helping Hands. No politics, no red tape, just real people showing up for real people. We cook, we serve, we package, and we deliver. And every single meal goes straight to someone who truly needs it. But we can't do this alone. This year, the need is bigger than ever, and so is our goal. If you ever wanted to make a difference, this is your moment. Your donation doesn't disappear in the system. It becomes food, hope, and dignity. Join us. Help us feed our neighbors. Help us make sure that no one goes hungry. And a little bit from all of us becomes a lot more for someone in need.